Good morning. I just wanted to hop on here and tell you all about something that I just did. And I'm going to continue to do, and something I've been wanting to do for a long time. And I finally have started to do it, to reach out to the MS, the Multiple Sclerosis community. And Facebook has made that pretty simple. There's a lot of MS groups. And so I reached out a little bit and was very humbled. Got to talk with someone about their journey, their experience, and and my journey. I told them my story, and that is powerful when you tell your story and when you connect with other people that are going through things themselves, and just opening up yourself, opening up your space to other people. So it's been very humbling, and I'm going to continue to do it. One thing that I found very disheartening, though, is that a lot of these groups, they have a lot of spam in there, and they have a lot of people trying to sell them stuff, and and it's all these, like, it's a lot of health, natural health and stuff, which is great. That's great, but unfortunately, I don't know the way that they're doing it. I heard one person call it, what did they call it? They called it snake potion or something, or anyways. And I'm just thinking that it's a shame. It's a real shame, because so I'll tell you, so a little bit, my story is, and a lot of you know it and some you don't, but I had an optic neuritis in 2014. That's when I was diagnosed with MS, and it started out with optic neuritis, which is a very early symptom that leads to MS. So luckily, I'm in the eye business. I've worked for eye doctors. I'm an optician, so I've been in the the eye field for almost 20 years. So I was working for an eye doctor at the time. I had optic neuritis is inflammation of the optic nerve, and in my right eye, I was experiencing very suddenly, it came out suddenly, inflammation in my right eye, and it is extremely painful. I don't think you'd realize how much you move your eyeballs, but you move them a lot. It's something you've never really thought about, probably. So any little movement of my eye was excruciatingly painful, and that went on for about a couple of weeks, that pain. Of course, my doctor saw it, and he immediately sent me to a neuro-ophthalmologist who ordered MRIs, and I knew, we kind of knew what it was leading up to, and I knew that it was, probably going to be that diagnosis. And it was diagnosed MS, and right before my 30th birthday, and I immediately, the doctors want to immediately give you steroids and drugs, and I refused. I was like, no way, I'm just not doing it. So even through the pain, to get through the pain, I did have to take some ibuprofen to get through the pain, but that's as much as I did. I feel like if I hadn't said no to the steroids and the pain medication, I could be on like 20 different medications by now, but I've refused it. There's no way I'm gonna take medication, because I know that there are other ways. So very early on, and I think that is a key point, I think very early on it was caught with me. And optic neuritis is a very early sign. So I think taking the steps early on. Now, a lot of people go on and they don't know, they just wake up one day and they can't move one side of their body. Yeah, then it's terrifying. Whatever it is, whenever it gets diagnosed, it's absolutely terrifying. I didn't know my future for a long time. I didn't even talk about it very much. Obviously, the closest people in my life that have been around me know, but I certainly have never come out like this before and started talking about it and talking to other people so much. So, very important that early on I caught it, and immediately I changed everything. 8 years ago, I changed everything. My diet, everything. At the time, I was doing paleo diet because I read a great book by a doctor who had MS, and she turned it around with diet. And I'm like, well, this is an MD. Her name is Terry Walls. It's called the Walls Protocol. And I read that book, and I was very inspired by her. And she literally went from a wheelchair to running marathons in a very short period of time. And all about nutrition, and I learned about cellular health at that time, and learning how to keep my cells healthy. And it starts there, and learning about the food that we put in our bodies and everything we do. So basically I had 2 MRIs 6 months apart, and the first MRI diagnosing the MS, seeing the scars. The second MRI, within that 6 months, I was juicing every day, eating very clean. I was doing a paleo diet, so I was eating meat. And 6 months apart, the MRI showed a vast improvement. It was a vast improvement, and I was feeling better. It took about 9 months for I had some vision loss in my right eye, and colors were very distorted in my right eye for about 9 months. So the pain lasted a couple of weeks. I got through that, and then 9 months later, I finally got my vision back. Still in that eye, my right eye is not as good as my left, but I don't even notice it. So yeah, that's that. So anyways, now it's been 8 years, and I'm like, I gotta start telling people. I don't think I'm just lucky, I know everyone's different, everyone's case is different. Everyone has different symptoms, and experiences, but I think it's time that I start talking about it more and sharing it with everyone, because there are people that just need to know that you don't have to just roll over and say, okay, well, this is it. This is my fate, because it's not. It is not your fate. And that goes for other ailments as well, diabetes, okay? That one really touches home with me because it runs rampant in my family, on one side of my family at least, and I just lost my aunt. It just happened, and it's very, it took her very quickly. And it could have been avoided, I think. It could have been, not saying, but things like this can be avoided. Diabetes can be controlled. It can be controlled without medication, and it's fully controllable through diet and exercise and healthy living. Like so many things. So many things are now, I call them, and I don't know if this is the right term that I'm saying, but it just kind of felt right with me, that I call them environmental diseases. But they are diseases brought on by our lifestyle, the way that we live, the way that we eat, the way that we think. This is what's happening to everyone. Everyone had, like so many people have, even multiple things. I know people that have fibromyalgia and MS and this and that. And these are things, sorry, Jasper bumped the camera. These are things that are brought on by our environment, by the way we live. And there's a better way. So that's my message, my 10-minute message for this morning. So I think I'm just gonna start a YouTube channel and y'all can just listen to me blabber on, right? Sounds fun. All right, well, peace out, guys. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and